Hey there, and welcome to This Explainer. I am absolutely thrilled to guide you through today's topic. We spend so much time optimizing our habits, planning out our goals, and working on self-improvement. But we rarely stop to examine the hidden threats operating quietly right in the background. Specifically, the threats to our progress that come not from complete strangers, but from the people right next to us. It's a really fascinating, albeit a kind of uncomfortable psychological phenomenon. Okay, let's dive into this. So let me ask you something. Who poses the biggest threat to your success? I really want you to think about that for a second. Most of us are completely conditioned to think our greatest danger comes from a known enemy, right? Like a competitor, a harsh critic, or some giant visible obstacle standing right in our way. But what if I told you the truth is actually way more complex? What if the absolute biggest danger often comes from people who smile at you, sit with you, support you publicly, and proudly call themselves your friends? Look, an open enemy is actually quite predictable. They show you their intentions openly. You know exactly where they stand, and because of that, you can prepare yourself. But a jealous friend, man, that is where things get incredibly dangerous. They hide their true intentions behind a mask of kindness, little jokes, and fake support. Jealousy is literally one of the most perilous human emotions precisely because it rarely announces itself directly. It just works silently in the background. Section 1. The success trigger, when dynamics shift. Now, you might have actually noticed this dynamic in your own life. Think back for a second. Was there someone who was totally comfortable with you, incredibly supportive even, back when you were struggling, confused, or just living a pretty average day-to-day life? They were perfectly fine with that version of you. But the exact moment you started to level up, their behavior subtly shifted. They were completely comfortable with your struggles, but strangely threatened by your success. And this brilliantly illustrates how this behavioral shift isn't usually some grand, dramatic event. It's actually triggered by specific steps of self-improvement. Step 1, you start becoming disciplined. Step 2, you start earning more money or maybe gaining some recognition. Step 3, you're just making tangible, undeniable progress in your life. As your life improves, the way these specific people treat you slowly begins to change. The warmth fades and something else takes its place. Section 2. The uncomfortable mirror. Psychologically speaking, this behavioral shift is called the mirror effect. This happens because your newfound success suddenly becomes a mirror. And what's it reflecting? It's reflecting their lack of progress. A lot of people simply cannot handle that reflection. It forces them to look inward and confront deeply uncomfortable truths about their own lives, their own inaction, and their missed opportunities. So instead of using your progress as inspiration to improve themselves, this darker reaction kicks in. They unconsciously begin hoping that you slow down, that you fail, or that you just return to your old level so they can feel comfortable again. And honestly, the scariest part, they probably don't even realize they're doing it. Section 3. The masks of jealousy. Because it operates so silently, hidden jealousy manifests in very specific, disguised ways in your everyday conversations. You'll hear the fake concern, like, "Are you sure you're not working too hard?" Or sarcasm that has just a little too much bite to it. Backhanded compliments that leave you feeling weirdly insulted. That subtle negativity that just slowly drains your excitement. And my absolute personal favorite mask? Telling you to be realistic. Listen, when someone tells you to be realistic as you're chasing a goal, it is rarely because they actually care about reality. It is almost always because your ambition makes them deeply uncomfortable. Let's just pause here for a second because this is honestly one of the absolute hardest, most painful lessons successful people have to learn. You expect resistance from strangers, right? You expect hurdles in the marketplace. You don't expect resistance from the people sitting at your own dinner table. And that betrayal, it just hurts differently. Why? Because trust creates vulnerability. When you trust someone, you open up to them. And that vulnerability makes the disappointment so much sharper when they refuse to celebrate your wins. Section 4. The reality of success versus dreams. Now, what's really interesting about this is a pretty harsh truth about human nature. Not everyone who supports your dream actually wants it to come true. People will cheer for your dreams because, well, they're harmless, they're safe, they aren't real yet. But success is real. Success changes status. And when status changes, the whole social hierarchy alters. And relationships change right along with it. Once your success becomes reality, all those hidden, suppressed emotions begin to bubble up to the surface. That is the exact moment you discover who genuinely wants the best for you. Section 5. The power of silence. So, if you're watching this and suddenly remembering someone who always seemed super supportive until your life actually started improving, here is exactly what you need to do. Don't become angry. Become aware. Getting mad, seeking revenge, or harboring all this cynicism, that doesn't serve your growth at all. Understanding human nature is all about protection. Awareness is infinitely more valuable than revenge because it actively protects you from future disappointment. There is a remarkably powerful strategy for anyone on a self-improvement journey, and it goes like this. Silence protects progress, and progress speaks louder than explanations. You have to realize that not everyone deserves access to your goals, your plans, or your next move. This is exactly why so many highly successful people learn to just move quietly. They don't broadcast every single step. Moving in silence basically becomes a strategic superpower that completely insulates your ambition from the subtle negativity of hidden jealousy. Ultimately, we're all managing two types of hurdles here. Visible obstacles are the known challenges, the late nights, the hard work, the financial constraints, the steep learning curve. But the invisible obstacles? That is the wrong people draining your energy, killing your confidence, and slowing your growth without ever openly attacking you. Learning to recognize genuine support from hidden jealousy is one of the greatest skills you will ever develop. Spotting these invisible obstacles doesn't make you a negative or paranoid person. Accepting this reality simply makes you prepared. And prepared people move through life with much clearer eyes and far stronger boundaries. I want to leave you with this final, provocative thought to chew on today. Who only likes the version of you that makes them comfortable? If this explainer made you see certain relationships in a totally different light, do not ignore that gut feeling. Learn from it. Protect your energy, safeguard your goals. And hey, don't ever be afraid to keep walking forward, even if you have to walk quietly. Keep learning, keep growing, and I highly encourage you to start protecting your future from those who secretly fear your growth. Catch you next time.